Well, guys, welcome back. Welcome back to Over Foolish, to this beautiful night here in Italy. We're gonna play some more It Gets Lonely here. We're gonna dub in English, hopefully. We will not get too flabbergasted today, too. So, I hope you're fine, guys. And as usually, I've touched my settings of the microphone. I do hope they're not too strange. Let me check very quickly. You will hear me 2 times. That's perfectly normal. You hear me 2 times. No, it seems to be totally okay. At least for the moment, you let me know if any volume is strange. And without further ado, guys, we're gonna start our beautiful games. Let's go. Dun, 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 dun. Stop the music. And we switch the scene. Oh my god, the volumes. No. Go down. Okay, let me check the volumes. They should be good for you. It's a little bit too loud in my headphones. It gets so lonely here, guys. Phase 2, we are with the female Undertaker. We see how the story develop. Load. Let's go. Okay, the volumes should be good. You let me know about the volumes, okay? I need some feedback, guys. Oh my god. It was a very heavy day for me, guys. Today I've done my grocery, my body training, my voice training. Today my voice is terrible. So hopefully I will be able to double without any problem. Just getting some green tea and let's go. No words could ever console the grave digger. They will never be enough. They can offer some balm, however, to do the bereaved, to the bereaved, and so after a pause just long enough to be awkward, you offer your condolence. What else can you say? Oh no, the grave digger replies, wiping a few stray tears away with the back of the arm. It is alright. I have grown used to it, really being on my own. I mean, it ain't so bad, really. And I'm not alone now, at least. I've met you. You'll keep me company, won't you? I'm sorry, guys. I hit something just because to start the streaming, and it's right in my throat, so I may clear my voice a couple of times. Don't judge me. Well, what you can say to that? You aren't callous enough to trample this poor girl's hopes, are you? You know full well yourself how awful that feels. You can do nothing but nod, a response which makes the girl smile more widely still. That's wonderful. I know you're just a traveler who's passing through, but I can offer you a bread and board until you leave. I have food enough and a spare bedroom. I can make it for you right now. Make it up. I can make it up for you right now. This is one of the videos find on YouTube. One of the videos you find on YouTube. What do you mean, PSS? Also, welcome. You're new. You must be tired after your long journey. Just give me a moment. The grave digger rises to her feet in a fury of excitement, then retreats. You watch as she departs, as little too eager to please and frown. The girl's home is small, humble, and with a low ceiling and slanted walls. You cannot imagine such a small dwelling possessing spare bedroom. This is so-called a This is so-called a spare bedroom. Is, in a likelihood, the room her father slept in before the plug carried him off. It means that while you're scrolling live stream appear in this one of them. Oh, you mean that I'm visible on YouTube? Well, that should be good. I'm actually flattered by YouTube. Thank you, YouTube, if you're showing my videos. You're tired, wretchedly so. Why, it is all you can do to keep your eyes open. While you were running through the forest, desperate to escape your pursuer, you had no thought in mind beyond finding some safe sanctuary in which you could recuperate. Now that you have found said sanctuary, it would be unreasonable to find faults with it. You ought to learn to be more thankful for what you have. There are many, many people in the world with less. You rise and follow the Great Digger, once she has finished her preparation, to her so-called spare bedroom, which is every bit as cramped as you feared it would be. At least, there is a bed, which comes as something of a relief. The rest of this lodging are so humble you were half expecting a straw pallet. As tired you might be, you cannot lie to yourself. You have no desire to sleep among the hay like an animal. The sheets of the bed are clean, too, a fact to discern with a cursory glance. So you will not be expected to sleep upon the sweet-soaked linen of the plug-ridden man after all. This really is your lucky day. I got you this too, the grave digger says, somewhat shyly, as she hands you a folded gown. To sleep in, I thought it might become handy. Of your own clothes are, a little shabby. Oh, what happened to my chat? I have like a personal computer to see all the chats. Sometimes it gets really crazy and I start to do like blue screen and stuff and doesn't let me read the chat. For now it's good, but I hope it doesn't happen again. She can say that again. Your skirt is covered in mud and is torn ragged. Yo Nikiri, welcome back, boy. This nightgown is one of my old ones, so it is suffered a bit of wear and tear, but I hope it is fit right. It's clean, if nothing else. You accept the nightgown from you, benefactress, with a word of thanks. You want to sound appropriately appreciated, but you cannot mask your fatigue. Weariness overcomes you, and you yawn, a fact that the grave digger does not fail to notice. Oh, begging your pardon, I don't want to keep you. I'll be making myself scarce. If you need anything, though, don't hesitate to ask. I'd be happy to help. What game is it? This is called It Gets So Lonely Here, and it's an horror game about a little lady in the forest who's trying to escape something, we don't know what, that may occur in many troubles and monsters, and she dies sometime, and the story repeats itself. So we're gonna see all the different way to conclude the story, because the narrator told us that hopefully we're gonna have a good ending, but we do not know that. This is the second story. The gravedigger bows her head to you like a drudge, then hurries off, closing the door behind her with a thud. Tired though you are, you soon find that you rather miss your hostess' company. In the face of her good-natured smiles, you could among forget all of the hardship you have inherited and endured. In her absence, however, your lodging feels almost unbearably cold and inhospitable. You suppress a shudder, then unclothe yourself. You work as quickly as you are able, but your fingers are cold, and they fumble with the bottom of your blouse. Blouse? Maybe it's blouse? It takes you more time than you would like to complete this endeavor, but you soon have your shirt and your skirt dispensed with. By the way, your blessing work? Your blessing work. My blessing work. What is my blessing work? Onikiri. You are too tired to fall. You give me less time. Blessing. Oh, I got it. We don't talk about that. You are too tired to fold them neatly, so you do not bother to fold at them at all. Sorry. Instead, you cast them carelessly upon the floor, as defiant as a skulky child, then pull on your new nightgown. Your hostess' yearly warning were apt enough. It is quite worn, but it fits well enough. It is more comfortable, at least, than your old uniform. You have endured worse. Newly dressed as ready for bed, you loosen your head from your breads and settle down among the sheets. It is with a side of your extinguish that weakly flickering candlelight which burn on your beside, and with another sight that you lay your head down upon your pillow. Though physically exhausted, you have to wonder whether you will be able to sleep at all. You can recall your previous dash, though the forest in such a vivid details your hair is still pounding. Oh, by the way, Onigiri, since you're here, can you give me like an audio feedback if my voice and the sound of the game is not overlapping or if it is annoying, please? That fears has yet to leave you. Perhaps it will never leave you. Your terror was such. It almost felt as tough. It has suffused itself into your bones, into your very being. But your exhaustion is greater than your worldly anxiety, and soon it claims you. Your eyelids fall shut, and your breathing inevitably begins to even out. It is not long until you spiraling through a dark, deep abyss, lost in Morpheus' kingdom. Your sound is good today. And about the game, I do not have sound. Oh, sometimes there is sound. The music stopped, but you can see like I mean you can hear like a sounds effect sometimes. So yeah, you have the music now, so you can tell me now. But you're asleep. Despite your wearied state is not resonative as you had hoped. Your imagination has always been overactive. Even at the conservatoire, you were frequently beset by dreams of the most vivid nature. The dreams that you have this night, lying beneath unfamiliar sheets upon an unfamiliar bed, are no less intense than usual. In your dream, you are back at the conservatoire, the place where this adventure of yours began. You are wearing the crisp white blue. Is this blues? I think this is blues. Blouse? I think this is blues. You once discarded and your grey unremarkable skirt. Your hair is tied as braid as your eyes are downturned, forever focused upon your feet. Your character have a character sheet. You mean like a backstory or something like that? You tried not to look... nope. What is a character sheet? You tried not to look at your classmates, as you thought yourself fortunate if they didn't look at you in return. Search character sheet. Don't know what that is. Let me see. Okay, some kind of, oh, okay. Yeah, it is some kind of, let's say, background, and, yeah. No, I don't have that, unfortunately. I never thought about it. Nah, I do prefer not to give too much information that is not required. I mean, if people want to know something about me, they can just ask in live. That's more natural for me. Okay. You did not want anybody to notice you, until the awful winter that is, where everybody stopped paying attention to you for good. Nobody trying to trip you when you walked past them in the hallways. Nobody, in fact, so much as glanced at you. All of the sudden, there were no malicious whisper, no wicked laughter, no pulled hair, or no thrown objects. I was thinking to make a heart of your character, that's why I asked. Oh, I see. I mean, you can do that. You can post it in the fan art section of Discord, of course. Nothing not safe for work, okay? But this little game, that of complete and utter disregard, continued and on, as the day grew shorter and the nights grew longer. As the time passed, you began to fret as to the state of your own corporeality. Could anybody still see you? You don't even exist at all. Then at long last, you found it, quite by accident, the source of all your woes. One of the girls had erected it in the forest true, the forest true, which you were sometimes began to jog for PE class, beneath the shade cast by an old oak tree. VTubers appear all the time in my feed. I guess you're lucky day. VTubers are the best person you can find on the internet. At least I am. It was a makeshift tombstone, a small meagre monument made of stone upon which one of your classmates had hewed a name. Your name. You knew at once, as you stood there, standing beneath the shade, that the ancient tree, that this was the reason behind your classmate's silence. This was why they had, for many months, been ignoring you so assiduously. They had buried you. In their hearts, you had already died. Your airy dreams, notwithstanding, you sleep more comfortably than you had anticipated. When you awake the following morning to the to the sweet chirping of birdsong, you felt well rested, albeit woozy. The sheet is help art a lot. I don't have that, sorry. You can just watch me. Your head is acting. It is nothing, however, that a cup of hot tea cannot fix. You stumble onto the kitchen in your nightclothes, your hair loose and your feet bare, and the gravedigger turns to you. She looks at your face, which is pasty, and your under eyes, which are dark, and exclaims in the manner of the accustomed solving problems, not complaining about them. Oh, you look helpful. Awful. I think you need something warm to drink, and maybe you need something to eat too. Let me get started on breakfast. And that is exactly what she does. She gets started on breakfast, which proved to be quite a simple affair, nothing like the luxurious food you were accustomed to your past life. The bread is hard enough to break your teeth on. Wow, that's a really hard bread. And the cheese is a bit I got it. It is food of the same, though, and you do not complain. Your stomach was beginning to grumble. The tea is inoffensive, at least, and you drink it gratefully. You thank the gravedigger girl for her hospitality, and she smiles at you in return, a sunny smile. Look how beautiful she is. Like a field of blooming bellflowers. It's no problem. Don't hesitate to ask me if you need anything else, she said, word which come to symbolize your relationship. You stay with the gravedigger for many more days, and, limited through her means might be, she always tries to help you. The gravedigger set your chores about the house to keep you occupied, a fact for which you are grateful. You need to do something to keep your mind off your frantic flight through the forest. You can almost forget about it now, during the day. During the night, however, it returns to you, the sounds of your feet against the foliage and the swirling fog. When you sleep, you are assailed by nightmares. Sometimes you awake after midnight, the sheet twisted around, your body and mouth gaping open in a paroxysm of terror. You try to tell yourself otherwise, you are still flayed. Being with a gravedigger makes you feel less so, though, particularly when you are sweeping the floor or keeping an eye on the bread loaves so they do not burn. You attend... oh, by the way, there is like a way to make more soft the hard bread. That is basically put it in water for a couple of minutes and then recook it. That will make it actually way more easy to eat. I hope they know that. It's an old practice, by the way. You attend to most of the domestic chores, with the grave digger concerning herself with the work she knows best, that is digging graves. Her dogged persistence when it comes to this pursuit intrigues you, so much that you cannot help but pose a question to her on one particular morning, when the sky is festooned with clouds. How you do know that? Because I very, very poor, and there was a particular period of my time when I traveled the world for 4 years living in a tent. So having no money means to become smart with these things, you know? Why? You ask her. Perhaps a touch insensitively. Do you continue to dig graves? There is nobody left after all to dig them for. You have always been practical and you cannot see the point in it. Respect. That was a very bad experience. I prefer to forget about it. What's the point in it, The gravedigger ponders while holding her precious shovel to her chest. Fortunately, she does not seem upset by your questions, despite it is bluntless. You should count yourself lucky her temperament is so very placid. I don't suppose there is any point to it, really. The grave digger eventually says with a small smile, I know it doesn't have any practical purpose, but, well, digging graves is what my father did. He showed me how to do this so I couldn't continue his legacy. My father wanted to keep our family traditions going. And I suppose I want to do the same. I'm receiving messages. Who is it? Gmail? What? Stop it. That's all there is to... It is really... Can you rate one? Just made it? No, I never do that. If you want to send any type of fan art, you can receive the rate for other people in my Discord, but not from me. I do not judge. That's all, is it? You think you can understand that? Though your companion action might appear to be illogical, there is a kernel of reason nestled among them. She does not dig graves out of any sense of purpose. She does it instead out of a sentiment. Besides, I have to do something to keep myself busy, don't I? If I spend my days idling all on my own, I think I'd go mad. You don't have the internet, my lady. Otherwise, we could be a streamer, you know? And have contacts and don't get crazy. You know that actually people that stay alone tend to talk alone to keep their self company. That is actually totally normal for the human mind to do so. The gravedigger laughed at this, as though the prospect of her own madness is amusing. Her laugh, despite her slender stature, is not particularly delicate. It reminds you, perhaps unkindly, of the braying of a horse. Okay. She's not so delicate. You are ashamed of thinking such a thing. Tough. And your face flushes with the guilt of it. We cannot all be well-bred young ladies, you know. Still, the laughter of the gravedigger, it is an echo through the gloomy sky. The grey, gloomy sky is strangely desperate. Oh, by the way, guys, for the ones of you that are new to my channel, you have to know that I'm Italian and my pronunciation is very Italian, so I am actually doing a lot of trainings day by day, doing English streamings to try to improve my pronunciation, but it's really, really difficult for me, so please don't be too judgy, okay? It sounds forced. Her smile, too, is a touch unnatural, the rictus grin of corpses. You find, despite your attempts to return her laughter with a polite giggle, that you cannot help but pity her. You retreat indoors briefly after you talk with the gravedigger, then set about some simple chores. The gravedigger trusts you well enough to manage to sweep the floor, a task which does not take particularly long, and the preparing of the meals, a task which takes slightly longer. It is not until much later, however, once the sun has already sunk beneath the horizon and the moon is high in the sky, that the grave digger returns from the outdoors. She is windswept after many hours spent exposed to the elements, and there is a dirt caked beneath her fingernails. The grave digger removes her cloak, which she hangs by the door. She looks to the pot suspended over the fire, a fire which you stoke with your own fair hands. The sense of cooking food, that of a garlic and onions, fill the air, suffusing the interior of the kitchen in a homey aroma which makes your stomach rumble. Taking stock of this, the grave digger smiles at you, a toothy smile which, despite her status as lowly peasants, is surprisingly clean and bright and white. Thank you so much, dear one. There is nothing like returning home after a hard day works to find dinner already prepared. Now let me give it a taste. The grave digger dips in a spoon into the soup, then brings it to her lips. She blows upon it. Then she places the spoon into her mouth, the wooden utensils clacking against the teeth. You observe this with a touch of anxiety. Would she like the food which you prepared for her? You have cooked for her before in the past, and she always very complimentary of your efforts. Cookies is not your forte, however. You never had a concern yourself with it, really. Growing up in related comfort as you did, you think that you enjoy this rural, rustic mode of existence more than you did of the privilege of your past life. At least now, with the grave digger, you have a steadfast friend, a staunch ally. When you are with her, you are not alone, and that is worth its weight in gold. The grave digger exclaimed. After drawing the spoon from her lips, her smile, a bright, guileless one. It's delicious. Your face flushed at this compliment. You are unaccustomed to receiving them, and it makes you feel good. Shyly, you ask the grave digger if she truly means that. A query which makes the grave digger smile. Oh my god, my mouth today cannot speak. Of course, I mean it. You've become quite good at cooking, really. That is a relief. You were not very good at all of this cooking, Markley, in the beginning. You did not know how to handle a knife, nor how to peel a vegetable, and you cut yourself more than once. You bled into the soup on several occasions, but never once did you throw this sullied soup out. The grave digger lives in a humble existence, as she cannot afford to waste her precious ingredients. Your soup during your stay have all been seasoned with the slightest hint of iron. Because of the blood, of course. Today's soup, however, is marked a step above all the rest. You did not cut yourself with a knife even once. Maybe your companion compliments are not empty fluff. Maybe you really are improving. This soup should be ready to serve. I have some bread, too. That we can eat it with. But oh, I should brew some tea, too. Let me. Ah, yes, the tea. You knew that you were forgetting something. You were so focused on the soup. It must have slipped your mind. Your face flushed yet again, and this oversight, and shyly you offer to correct it. The grave digger, however, waves your request aside. No, it's all right. You made the dinner, so I'll brew the tea. It's only fair, and it won't take all that long. Would you mind serving up the soup while I'm busy? Of course you would not mind. You do enjoy making yourself useful. For a lady you're awfully domestic. You work alongside the grave digger to finish your nightly meal, and together you serve it, soup and bread, alongside 2 cups of piping hot tea, prepared by your host's own 2 hands. You sit together at the table, then partake in this simple fare after saying grace. The soup really is quite good, despite it being made from only most commonplace of ingredients. There is a bit of a kick to it, and it warms you from the inside out. The tea, meanwhile, is very soothing, so much so it makes you feel really sleepy. You would like to sit with the Gravedigger for a little while longer and tell stories, as you have something in the past that, or play cards. The nights are long, and there is no better way to pass them than spending time with her. Games of old maids, alas, will have to wait. You are too tired for it. You do not know what has happened, but after consuming your victuals, you feel utterly fatigued. You explain your predicament to the Gravedigger between your yawls, and she nods in response. That's alright, you don't need to stay up with me, not if you hand up to it. You should head off bed and rest that pretty head of yours. You do not think you are practically pretty, but you presume that the Gravedigger is just regurgitating a phrase to you. She does not truly mean it. How could she? She is far prettier than you. You thank the Gravedigger for her understanding, then rise from the table. You retreat to the spare bedroom on trembling legs, then change out of your clothes. You have only just slid into your nightgown when you hear the rapping of knuckles upon your door, light and unobtrusive. Oh my god. This rapping could, of course, belong to but one person. It is the Gravedigger come to check up on you. I'm sorry, the Gravedigger says, her voice soft, but you rushed to your room so soon after eating, I couldn't help but worry about you. Would you mind if I took a look at you? I just want to see if you're alright. The Gravedigger is trying to keep her voice steady, but you can hear it wavering regardless. Oh, she has something in mind. I do remind you guys that this is an horror game, so maybe the Gravedigger is just crazy. She really does sound concerned. No, she really does sound concerned. So much so, she could very well be one of the wrinkled tears. You do not want her to cry for you. You would feel horribly guilty if you upset her, even oh my god, inadvertently. Okay, even inadvertently gives all that she has done for you. You bid the Gravedigger entry into your rooms, therefore without further delay, an invitation she hastens to take. Door swings inwards with a creak, and there is your hostess stands, still attired in black, her clothes a stark contrast to your pure white, off-white nightgown. The Gravedigger looked at you, seated in bed with your hair fried from your usual bread, and exhales. Is that relief, you wonder, playing about her face? But why? What was it she expected to see exactly before entering your bed chamber? Thank you for letting me in, the Gravedigger says, toying with her fingers. How do you feel? Not too terrible. You reassure her. There are no particular problems with your health, you just feel tired. Are you sure you're not sick? Your face does look a bit pale. There would be nothing out of the norm, you are always pale. Heh, true. Now, is there anything I can do for you? Would you like something warm to drink, or maybe a hot brick to place in your bread? It should keep you warm. Oh, actually, that is another thing that you can do. You can warm water, put it inside something that contains, and take it with you inside the bed if you like sleep outside or in a tent. That is actually something that I use. And also candles inside the tent. They work. You appreciate your hostess' truthfulness, but you assure her that this won't be necessary. You'll be fine. I hope so. I thought that about my father too before The gravedigger begins, but her voice soon trails off. She does not finish that thought. She does not need to. You know now what she was thinking of before she entered your bedroom. Cold, clammy skin, as a sweating brow, rank oozing pustules. You think upon the symptoms which are illy similar to those recounted during the great plague which once besieged your own country, and you shudder. If you don't want anything, then I'll be on my way, the gravedigger says. But before that... this was just a fancy on my part, but I was wondering, would you mind if I brushed your hair for a little while? Your hair? That's right, in such a pretty shade of red. Oh, we have pink hair, but I suppose they call it red. A pretty shade of red is all. I just thought, well, it's just a fancy, really. You don't have to let me, not if you don't want to. But I thought it might be help you relax if you're feeling under the weather. I've heard it's supposed to be soothing. It is indeed. Especially for women. I tried that. My own experience. I suggest you, if you have a girlfriend, to brush her hair. Absolutely, it works. That is what the gravedigger says, but you have the distinct feelings that she isn't one looking for solace here. She is not quite so selfless, perhaps, as she would like you to think, but she has been so very good to you, and has done so very much for you, that you do not want to begrudge her this small self-indulgence. You rather think she deserved it. You agree, therefore, to her request, and upon doing so, you are certain you have made the right choice. Your hostess' face light up immediately in a manner which makes you blush. Oh, thank you. It'd be my honor. Now let me fetch my brush. The gravedigger retreats from your room in a hurry, but returns soon thereafter, holding in her right hand the promised brush. This artifact acquired, the gravedigger then settles herself upon your bed by your side. She looks at you for a few moments, her expression pensive. Then she announces that she will begin. The gravedigger leans in. The wooden frame of the bed creaks under her weight, a creak which melts with the seeking of the breeze outdoor. You can feel the bristles of the brush running through your hair. It is soothing enough, so much so it makes you shiver. The sensation is a pleasant one, and somewhat nostalgic. Did your mother do this for you, you wonder, when you were a little girl? If she did, it must have been when you were a very little girl. You have not seen your mother in quite some time, not after you enrolled at the conservatoire. Oh, you have such a lovely hair, dear one. It's soft, just like silk. Not all like mine. Mine is so coarse. This gentle voice draws you out of your vague, half-formed reminiscence. It sounds as though the gravedigger is lost in nostalgia of her own, because her voice, when next she speaks, is dreamy. I think my mother used to brush my hair like this for me, back when she were still alive. That must be a long time ago, though. It is funny. You think as the bristle of the brush continued to slide through your tresses, that you had the gravedigger you and the gravedigger should both be reminiscing in tandem about your respective mothers. Perhaps there is something maternal in the act of brushing one's hair, which wants to summoning forth such an image. I would not know personally. I cannot remember my own mother at all. I don't think I liked having my hair brushed very much, the gravedigger continues, her breath warm against the exposed nape of your neck. My mother used to complain that I squirmed too much. I can remember that. She always told me to sit still. Though it wasn't my fault I squirmed, she used too much force. Now this is curious. It sounds as though the reminiscence of the Gravedigger are not particularly fond, after all. Did she not get along with her mother? I can't rightly say. The Gravedigger replies, in a somber sort of voice. I was young, like I said, when she died. I really don't remember her too well. But I don't think she ever had that much of time for me. She was too busy with all the cooking and all the cleaning and looking after my baby brothers. But she had time enough, despite that, to brush your hair. She did what she had to make me look presentable. That is really, presentable. Not that it is really worked. I mean, she's beautiful anyway, so she done something. I wasn't like the other girls in the village, you see, who liked to sit indoors with their mothers and sew. I always loved the outdoors. My father said I inherit that from him. Refually, the Gravedigger smiled, not that you can see it with your back-facing hair. My mother said I was very, well, maidenly. She didn't like that I always traipsed around outside after my father, watching as he dug graves. She said it wasn't appropriate, like I was some sort of a princess wearing a fine dress. The Gravedigger snores. I used to get a bit muddy, yes, and maybe I did get the burrs in my clothes and not in my hairs, but he shouldn't have married. Mattered. So not like I ever had any hopes of marrying a prince, no matter what my mother said. But still, she hoped. She had a lot of hopes, my mother. High hopes. I think she might have resented my father, maybe for working such a menial job. Our profession is an honest one, but it's never made much money. I think my mother was hoping for fine jewels and dresses and... I don't know. She always had ideas. Her head was full of fairy tales. It was a shame. I suppose that her reality didn't match up to what she wanted. I didn't want to match up to what she wanted. The bitterness in your friend's voice is unmistakable, so much so you want to console her. What would you say to her, though? You never met your companion's mother. You never will either. Her cold, inert body has been lying in the graveyard buried beneath a tombstone for over a decade. You have no way to ascertain whether your companion's mother truly cared for her. You do have intelligence enough, however, to understand that poorly tough out of condolence can cause more harm than good. You would not like if people tried to assure you that of course your father loved you really. If he loved you, then why did he send away from home? Why did he never send you any letters? You know, he was worried about his finances, but that seems a poor excuse to pretend that his only daughter did not exist. As for your own mother, meanwhile, she was nice. At least you think she was. But she was woefully ineffectual. Though she was nominally an adult, she always cleaved before your father's judgment. You think that she was afraid of him. You do not try to tell the Gravedigger, therefore, that her mother loved her, that she must have done, else she would not have given birth to her. Instead, you sit there, letting the brush run through your hair, and you say quietly that you understand. Sometimes you feel like a disappointment yourself. Well, the Gravedigger says after a pause, I'm glad I'm not the only one. I guess it happens to all of us. Wow. It only has been 1 hour, guys. Incredible. You guess so. Parents are only people after all. While one wouldn't hope one's parents will be kind and attentive, they too can fall victim to caprice of their own. Just because one has brought a child into this world, it does not mean that one be able to take care of it properly, and that is actually truth. I know by myself, a terrible family. Not all parents are responsible, just as not all people are responsible. It is a painful subject. Oh well, it's alright if my mother never liked me, or even if she never loved me. I know my father did, and that's all that matters. He was always there for me, no matter what. Your companion's voice catches in her throat. She winces. At least until he wasn't. He died. He died, and I didn't do a thing to help him. I mean, you did, but you couldn't help me because of the plague, Your companion's shoulders are beginning to shake. You still cannot see her, but you can feel her body convulsing. You can sense her loneliness rolling off in her waves. It is all consuming like the waters of a deep, dark ocean. Grief anew pierces your heart, not only your behalf, but for the sake of your benefactress. She does not deserve to suffer so much. This you have no qualm with telling her. You turn to face her and pluck the brush, which has been hovering in the air, inert from her fingers. Then you let her know that her father's death was not her fault. What could she have done? She could not have cured his illness. I know, but I can help but think. What if? I keep racking my head over and over, trying to come up with something. But I can't think of anything, and even if I could, it's too late. He's already dead. He's dead and buried. I buried him, and now I'm all alone. She might have been alone, you tell the grave digger, but she isn't now, not anymore. How can she be when you are there? I know that I'm grateful, but I don't know if I deserve it. Why was she not deserve your company? What she don't deserve your company? You do not understand. Because I couldn't do nothing for nobody. My father always looked out for me when I was a little girl, but when he needed me the most, I failed him. I failed everyone. All of the villagers, all of my friends, all died. What would I do if the same things happened to you? I don't think I could bear it. I don't want you to getting sick too. Not when I care about you so much. I thought I've gotten used to be on my own, but now that you are here, it's making me worry all over again. I've been worrying so much, I can't sleep from it. I'm scared. Your companion's voice catches in her throat. Then she collapses in herself. She leans forward, her arm about her middle, as if to steady herself, and she cries. She cries and she cries and she cries. For a few moments you look at the gravedigger, unsure of what to do. Her pale face, streaked with the silver tears, seems to flicker in the candlelight. Her shoulders, which seems too slender to bear an accumulative weight of all the sorrows she had endured, are shaking. Your fatigue continues to cling to you as insistent as the fog which rolls among the tombstones in the graveyard at night. You are not so very tired. However, you cannot offer your hostess some comfort. You do not know what you can say to console her. You feel too weary to think of a pretty sophism. But there is something you can think of. You would not typically be so bold, of course, but you are tired enough for once to throw caution to the wind. That and the tears of the gravedigger are awfully arresting. Oh, you hugged her. They're so cute. Also, you see that she does have a pink hair and she does have a white hair, so you see the contrast. They're not really red, they're pinkish, but that's okay. You open your arm and before the gravedigger can pass command, you pull her to your chest. Oh! A soft exclamation escaped the lip of the gravedigger, quieter than the sound of wintry snow as it brushed the ground. Then there is nothing. The gravedigger is stiff in your arms for a few moments, like the corpses she and her father used to seal away inside their wooden coffins. She is all wide eyes and awkward pointed elbows, tears still coursing down her pale cheeks. You worry briefly as you hold her that you have perhaps made a mistake. Were your attempts to consoling her too clumsy? You would not know. You have never been in a situation like this before. You have never consoled any friends before because you have never had any friends to console. It is not so now, however. You are as far away from your old life as it possible to be, and the gravedigger does not curse you for your impudence. Neither does she try to squirm away from you. Instead, she sits there, still as a statue, cradled in your arms. Oh, I'm very sorry to show you something so embarrassing. It is just I get lonely sometime. Until at long last, with a breathy sob, she lets the full weight of her body fall against you. You run your hands against your sobbing companion's shoulders, shoulder blades, and her back, and gently you soothe her. You tell her that she doesn't need to apologize. There is no shame in crying. You hug for her many minutes while she sobs against your chest, wetting the front of your nightgown. No further words pass between you and the night, but they do not need to. Words are irrelevant in a moment as tender as this, shared between two souls who have to come to understand one another through mutual loneliness. You slide beneath your sheets. You still feel exhausted, and the gravedigger joins you without asking of permission. Oh, I see, we're sleeping together. Okay. It would be an unnecessary piece of politeness, really, given your acceptance is all but assured. You have already accepted the gravedigger, after all, every single inch of her. You have accepted her hospitality. You have accepted her food. Now you are accepting her company. You arrange yourself beneath the sheets, then drove her body to yours. The gravedigger has not yet changed into her nightwear. Her clothes will be horribly rumpled when she awakes, come to the following morning, her head resting against your chest. But tomorrow has ceased to matter. It no longer exists. There is no concept of time between the two of you, no thought of the day which will dawn once the night is inevitably end. Instead, there is only the warmth shared between you and the wetness of the cheeks of the gravedigger. There is the sound irregular now, and less intense than before of your companion muted, muffled sobs. There is the gentle, tender moment snatched into the mist of a deep, dark night, which can never be replaced. Your eyelids feel heavy, as though weighted down with stones. They drop inexorably downwards, pulling you like a drowning maiden into the dark, impenetrable abyss of slumber. You yawned. Then you fall asleep, caused by beside the gravedigger like two cats in a basket. You slept and you slept and you slept, more deeply than you have allowed yourself in quite some time. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I guess we are in a coffin now. She's crazy. I knew it. I totally knew it. But when you are awake, you find that you are no longer in the bed upon which you slept in, shrouded by sheets. The gravedigger, too, is nowhere to be seen. Instead, you are quite alone, lying by yourself in the dark. You blink, but your surrounding not becomes any clearer. It is the middle of the night. Perhaps you were roused from your slumber by the desire to relieve yourself, or else to slake your thirst. Your sleep has been awfully disordered as of late, and the smallest of noises have been enough to disrupt you. That does not sound quite right, though. You slept well, of that you are certain. Your body feels invigorated, as though It has slumbered for hours and hours. How many hours? You do not know. You do not know much of anything. You can feel a strange pinching sensation around your chest, however, and around your arms. You would appear as though somebody, but who else could it have been, save the grave digger, changed your attire while you were sleeping? Okay, so they change your dress, okay? She changed your dress. That is startling though, but the darkness which entombs you is even more so. The darkness which surrounds you is certainly complete. It is so thick that you cannot penetrate it. You new-found woos do not stop, however. At this deep and natural darkness, it is cold too, and you are lying upon something hard, something sort of a stone slab, or maybe a coffin. What is going on? You reach out, but your movement is so stymied. There is something heavy lying atop you, something that is limiting your movements. You were anxious before upon awaking, but this discovery, you feel downright aggrieved. A sharp prong of panic pierces you, but you try to suppress it. Hysterics will get you nowhere. In most cases, they only tend to make a bad situation even worse. You ought to know that already. You swallow your mouthing dread as best you can, though it is coming on thick and fast, and try to squirm. You move your arms outwards, but they do not get very far. There is a wall above you, and walls on either side of you, walls which you do not budge. No matter how hard you push, that's a coffin. She's under the ground and she's alive. Note, I must add, you can push particularly hard, your anxious stays notwithstanding. You have never had much in the way of upper body strength, nor lower body strength. You do not have much in the way of strength at all. You feel quite helpless as you lie there, out of breath from your meagre exertion, unsure of what you should do. You can hardly see a foot in front of your face. You do not know where you are, nor why, but a terrible premonition is beginning to bear down upon you, one which initially you tried to discard. You did not want to accept this as a possibility, but where else could the truth lie? You are lying in a box, hemmed by walls which offer only a scant a few inches for you to stretch in any direction. Where else could you be but a coffin? I damn knew it. The moment you allow yourself to ponder this awful reality is the moment you hear it, the irregular sound of drumming. It is though somebody, true they must be a very large somebody, is tapping their fingertips upon the lid of your coffin. That or it is raining. It is not the fingers of a giantess, though, which is disturbing your noise falling rain. It is dirt. This sound continues on and on, as though it's drilling its way inside your skull. It is It is merciless. Like the ticking of a great celestial clock, it cannot be stopped. Your time is almost running out. But you knew that already. Did you when you were running through the forest? Hello, Kolia, welcome back. You ought to have known, silly things, that you could not outpace your destiny forever. Sooner or later, it would catch up with you. You are stubborn, though, and you do not want to accept this. Not content to simply lie there, you cry out. You cry not for your parents, whom hardly knew, not for you school friends, for you never had any. Instead you cry out for your new companion, the girl with whom you have been living, and with whom you share one precious cherished moment. You cry out for the gravedigger. Surely, this is some manner of a mistake. Once she realizes that you are in fact entombed in one of the coffins she currently fills, for who else would be moving the dirt above you, she will cease her operation at once. She will pull you out of the darkness, back into the world for the living. And then she will hold you close. She will embrace you. She cannot mean to cause you any harm, not when she was so good to you and so kind. Why would she bury you? You cry to her so loudly you fear your vocal cords might tear, all while banging against the roof of your compact prison. You cry desperately, helplessly, and to your relief, your cries do not fall upon deaf ears. The sounds of the falling soil tops, albeit briefly. Then you hear a voice. The voice is very faint, given it is being filtered through your coffin sturdy lid. But you recognize it. So, you're awakened then. Are you, dear one? The grave digger says. She sighs. Then she say in a perplexed sort of voice, "Now, that is a pickle. I was hoping you to be asleep a couple hours more, so the last time we spoke could not be on better terms. If you keep screaming like that, I'm going to feel bad." Your companion's words at tough distance are unmistakable. You are too tense. You are attuned to every single syllable, and each of them makes you gasp. What is this not a mistake, then? Does not truly mean to bury you alive? You posit this question to the gravedigger as best you can, trying to keep the tremors for your voice as you do. Perhaps you think your optimism that if you do not let her know how afraid you are, she will reward you for your bravery and let you go. If this is what you are hoping, though, it is in vain. That's right, you really do catch on quick. So it would appear that she really has committed to the task of burying you. What an unfortunate turn of event. Why, though, would she do such a thing? You thought that she was your friend. We are friends, the gravedigger says, her voice still worryingly offhand, worryingly empty. I'm very fond of you. There is nobody dearer to me than you. I've had a really good time with you in these last... How long it has been again? I don't remember. Neither do you. Well, if this little detail has slipped both of your mind, it can be all that important. You have other things to worry about. If you really are friends, you say to the gravedigger, then what does she hope to gain by burying you? You do not understand, but you understand her reply even less. Well, here's the thing. The gravedigger says in a reasonable sort of a voice, as though burying somebody alive could even be true of a reasonable action. I've been thinking Grace for a long time, you see. I cannot see, it's too dark, but you affirm that you do, all the same. Well, I was digging all the graves, but have not had anybody to put them in. Not for ages. I was rather sad. You think you know that this tragic of logic, twisted though it is, might be going, so you do not interrupt her. You know no good will come out of it. All you can do for the present is lie there and listen. I was thinking, I never find another person to bury in this godforsaken village, not after the blog messed everything up. I was getting desperate. Until you came along, that is. Now that I have somebody I can bury, I'm not gonna let the opportunity pass me by. I'm sorry, but this is just a part of my job. It's what my father taught me to do. It is all I know how to do. I buried my mother and I buried my father. I buried all of my friends. Now, I'm going to bury you too. It is sound logic in a sense, as the as the daughter of a great digger, digging graves is her job, but something about it rankles you. Yes, she's completely fucked up. She got lonely so much and stayed alone so much that she got crazy, and she cannot accept the fact that yes, she found a friend. She wants to stay alone. If only you could put your fingers on it. Ah, yes. There is a bit of a flaw with your reasoning, is there not? You are not dead, after all. You might not be dead now, the gravedigger said in response to your ingenuity, but you will be, if given enough time. I mean, everybody else I've ever known died. Who's to say you wouldn't be next? It seems rather more likely that you will die, and quickly, if she persists with her poorly thought out plan to bury you. Your coffin is not very large, it affords you precious little space. Eventually, if trapped within long enough, you will run out of oxygen, then you will suffocate. That, or you will starve to death. No, you will consume oxygen way faster than food in your belly. Either way, your demise will be a slow, painful one. You are unsure which death would be the worst. So given how precarious your situation is, you do not wish to expend the necessary energy needed to ponder it. You need to plead with the gravedigger, and quickly, while she is still there. You tell her, tearfully, that you would not leave her. Why wouldn't you? You try to sound as convincing as your disordered nerves will allow, but the gravedigger remains unmoved. You said that, she said, but how can I know you're telling me the truth? I thought you said you were a traveler. They never stay put in one place for long. You'd get sick of me before long, then you'd leave me. So, basically, she's so paranoid that she is afraid to lose us, and to not lose us, she get the chance to bury somebody because that's what she do better, to get some, I don't know how to say, satisfaction, I would say. She's completely out of her mind and any possibly logic. And I'm a psychologist, I know what I'm talking about. This way, at least, I can be assured that we always stay together. If I bury you, like I did to the others, we'll never be far apart. I even took care of you, put you in a nice spot close by home, so you're only a stone's throw away, really. Isn't that nice? Privately, you think that the gravedigger has a different conception of the word nice to you. You would not say this, however. You cannot say much of anything because of the panic and began to set in. It is choking you, stopping up your throat, so you can only cry. You scream. You beg and you plead, but it does little good. The gravedigger has already buried her mother. She has already buried her little brothers. She has even buried her father, whom she loves above all else. She thinks by burying you, she is doing unto you an act of great kindness. You think that she's going to kill you, in a sense. You are both right. Your opinions are so diametrically opposed on this matter, however, that you will never be able to find any common ground. You might as well save your screaming. She will not listen to you. She is beyond listening. Shush, shush, dear one, says the gravedigger very gently, just as gently as she spoke last night. And she confided you all over the fears. It won't be so bad, really. Nothing will be able to hurt you down there. The worms will. It'll be just like going to sleep for a really, really long time. You can rest, and while you rest, I'll tend to you. I'll plant flowers on your grave. You like that, wouldn't you? This way, we can always be together, and I'll never be lonely again. While the grave digger speaks, she begins to pile even more soil onto the roof of your coffin. The sounds of dirt on your top of you, on your arms, on your legs, and on your head conceal your companion's final word. You cannot hear her. You cannot hear anything beyond the sounds of the dirt and the scraping of the shovel and your own desperate and frantic screams. You scream and you scream and you scream without cease until your throat feels hoarse. But your efforts are in vain. You hammer on the lid of the coffin with as much strength as you can muster, but the lid of the coffin is nailed shut. I never understood why people in the past nailed the front of the coffin for dead people, because they're not gonna escape. Indeed, we're not doing that at our times, because if someone is dead, is dead. So I don't really know. Maybe superstition. Maybe they think like dead could come back again or something. I have to check about that. I have to do like a research about it. You are in no position to remove it. All you can do is lie there screaming and crying and banging your fist on the roof on the coffin over and over, and more dirt and more debris fall on top of you. Actually, there is something that I know about medieval and coffins and that stuff. That is the fact that they not used to create very resistant coffins because, first of all, the good wood was used for houses and construction that actually were heavy. And for coffins, they used just very, very easily to break wood. So she could be actually able to actually break the front of the coffin, because it should be really, really not so sturdy. But I mean, this is just because she have to die, and they not specify that for the most. Also, after a plug, even if you go to take like new wood and stuff, you usually use the old one that they have to get dry, and it usually get very fragile, especially at dead times. All you can do is lie there screaming and crying, blanging on your fist on the roof of the coffin over and over, and more dirt and debris fall on top of you, of course, because the wood is not like plain in a really right way. They have a lot of things that come through. Eventually, enough dirt falls on your stifles, you screams for good. The grave digger can no longer hear you, and you can no longer hear her. How deep is that hole? Like, they usually to dig like something like 2 or 3 meters. And she should be able to hear you anyway. You are all done, trapped in a narrow wooden box, which, regardless of what you want, is now your new home. You can smell the soil in the back of your nostrils when you inhale. It is so potent that you can taste it on your tongues. You can taste the eventual inevitable decay of your own body. You will remain trapped here underground forever and ever. Or, to use less melodramatic terms, until the last of your energy escapes and you succumb to your own slow suffocation. That is actually not so peaceful as many think, because your, I don't know the English word, pulmons, I don't know, the things that make you breathe explode, actually, insidely, very, very painfully. So yeah, it is absolutely not like to go asleep. It isn't a very pleasant way to go, but you'll forgive me if my sympathy is limited. You did bring this upon yourself, you know. You reap what you sow, and in your case, you made a series of bad decisions which led you to untimely demise. Now, what do you want to do? Will you accept this fate of yours, rest in peace, or will you try to fight against? I want to fight. Are you not happy with it, the hand of fate has dealt to you? Very well, I cannot blame you. It is quite a grim ending. I would not wish upon my worst enemy, and you are rather dearer to me than that. Now, why don't we give this another go? Just try not to be buried alive this time. I can only endure so much of your screaming. And the story restarts. Your fate is once again in your hands. Now I wonder, which path will you take? Go to the shore. The shore is the last one. The last option that we have. And we're gonna die, absolutely. There's not a right path, you know? But we're gonna finish the game, so let's go. So, you want to go to the shore? Stop. We are gonna save it, guys. This was the first story. This is the second one, and the shore is gonna be the third and last one. But for today, guys, we had enough reading. We read for 1 hour and 24 minutes. It's actually a lot for me. And I'm sorry to stop the live, but I get a little bit, you know, suiting, as the game said. So, as usual, guys, thank you for coming. Thank you for keeping me company. I wish for you the better continuation of your day. And as usual, have a good one. We see each other tomorrow with more streaming. Bye-bye, guys. Have a good one.